For millions of years, the name of Quetzalcoatlus echoed through paleontological halls as the undisputed titan of the prehistoric skies, the largest animal ever to take flight. A feathered serpent god, indeed. But what if we've been told is incomplete? What if, in the shadow of this legend, another colossal winged creature silently soared, a beast even more immense, more terrifying, a true anomaly forged in isolation? Prepare to meet the forgotten king. Picture the world 66 million years ago, a planet in its twilight days of the Mesozoic era, specifically the late Cretaceous period. This was an age where colossal wasn't just a descriptor, it was the standard. Wherever you cast your gaze, a behemoth dominated. On land, the mighty theropods and long-necked sauropods reigned supreme, their footsteps shaking the very earth. In the vast ancient oceans, monstrous mosasaurs patrolled with an effortless predatory grace, their jaws capable of crushing anything in their path. But even the heavens belonged to giants. The Cretaceous skies were ruled by a lineage of pterosaurs so legendary, so magnificent, they commanded respect across the entire globe, the Azhdarchids. These were creatures defined by their impossibly long necks and still-like legs, a family known for reaching breathtaking sizes. And among this prestigious group, one name typically stood above all others, etched into the annals of prehistoric fame: Quetzalcoatlus. This enormous pterosaur was the aerial monarch of ancient North America, a creature so magnificent its very name was inspired by the Aztec feathered serpent god. For decades, it was celebrated, revered, and widely accepted as the largest animal to ever defy gravity and conquer the open skies. Its wingspan, a staggering 11 meters, approximately 36 feet, made it as wide as a small aircraft, a Cessna 172. Imagine a creature of such scale, blotting out the sun as it glided overhead, a living shadow that whispered of unimaginable power. Its sleek, comparatively slender build suggested a creature built for elegant long-distance flight, a master of the air currents, capable of traversing vast distances with minimal effort. This was the image, the widely held belief, a testament to the sheer majesty of prehistoric life. But deep within the fragmented fossil record, amidst forgotten islands and ancient landmasses, another contender lay buried, waiting for its moment to challenge the throne. The early 1970s marked a pivotal moment, a quiet rumbling that would eventually shatter preconceived notions about the giants of the sky. Far from the well-trodden fossil beds of North America, in the rugged, ancient landscapes of what is now Romania, an academic expedition led by an ambitious student unearthed something extraordinary. It wasn't a complete skeleton, not a grand museum-ready display, but merely two colossal fragments, a portion of a skull and a piece of a humerus, the upper arm bone. Yet, even these isolated pieces were monumental, hinting at an animal of truly gargantuan proportions. The initial reaction among the paleontologists who first examined these behemoth bones was one of astonishment, quickly followed by a misattribution. Given their sheer size and robust nature, the immediate assumption was that these remains must belong to a previously unknown, colossal type of theropod dinosaur. After all, what else could be so immensely proportioned on land? The scale was simply beyond anything typically associated with a flying creature. The bone structure, the density, the sheer mass, it screamed land predator, a creature whose feet were firmly planted on solid ground, not one designed to conquer the heavens. However, as meticulous study commenced, as the fragments were carefully analyzed, measured, and compared against known anatomical structures, a different, more astounding truth began to emerge. The intricate patterns, the subtle curvatures, the specific points of muscle attachment, these weren't characteristic of a bipedal terrestrial theropod. Slowly, painstakingly, the experts pieced together the puzzle, realizing the profound implications of their discovery. Based on the unique morphology and the telltale skeletal features, it became unequivocally clear these enormous bones belonged not to a dinosaur, but to a pterosaur, a flying reptile. The realization must have been breathtaking, a moment of scientific epiphany that redefined the boundaries of what was thought possible for a creature of flight. It wasn't just a pterosaur, it was a monstrous pterosaur, a behemoth whose existence would rewrite textbooks and challenge the long-held supremacy of the magnificent Quetzalcoatlus. Yet, despite its undeniable, groundbreaking significance, this colossal flyer would remain largely overlooked, an unsung giant for decades to come, its true magnitude awaiting a formal introduction to the world. For more than 30 years following its initial discovery, this enigmatic giant of the Romanian skies remained a creature without a proper name, a silent testament to its own colossal existence. It wasn't until 2002 that the scientific community finally bestowed upon it a designation befitting its awe-inspiring presence, Hatzegopteryx thimai. The name itself evokes a sense of both place and power. Hatzegopteryx, a direct nod to the ancient prehistoric Hateg Island where its remains were found, a landmass this mighty pterosaur once dominated. And thimai, a tribute to the paleontologist who initially identified the unique nature of its skull. But it was the evocative, informal moniker, the Hateg Basin Wing Monster, that truly captured its essence. The monster part was no exaggeration. It was a direct acknowledgement of its absolutely absurd, unprecedented size and robust build, a feature that immediately set it apart from its slender Azdarkid kin. Paleontologists have since worked tirelessly to reconstruct this magnificent beast, estimating that fully matured individuals possessed a wingspan comparable to that of Quetzalcoatlus, often cited at 11 meters or 36 feet. Imagine a shadow as wide as a private jet gliding silently over an ancient, isolated island. But here's where the narrative truly shifts. Some researchers believe Hatzegopteryx was, in fact, even larger. The humerus, that crucial upper arm bone, was notably longer and far more robust than that of Quetzalcoatlus, leading to higher estimated limits. Some suggest a wingspan of up to 12 meters or 39 feet. This slight increase, while seemingly minor, would officially crown Hatzegopteryx as the largest flying animal of all time, surpassing even its North American cousin. Yet, its sheer size wasn't merely about wingspan. Even if it only matched Quetzalcoatlus in horizontal reach, Hatzegopteryx outclassed every other pterosaur, and indeed every known bird, in terms of sheer bulk and structural integrity. It was built like a veritable tank. Whereas other giant pterosaurs often featured delicate, gracile frames optimized for aerodynamic efficiency, Hatzegopteryx was freakishly robust, its bones dense and sturdy, its overall physique radiating an undeniable strength. This creature stood tall, an impressive 5 meters or 16.5 feet at the shoulder when on the ground, a height comparable to that of a modern-day giraffe. Picture this colossal animal standing on all fours, its head easily peering over the canopy of ancient trees. This combination of immense height, colossal wingspan, and unparalleled robustness led to a compelling conclusion. Hatzegopteryx must have weighed significantly more than any other giant pterosaur, including the comparatively more slender Quetzalcoatlus. While its exact weight remains a subject of ongoing scientific debate, no formal estimation has yet been firmly established. Despite this, its ridiculous proportions and dense skeletal structure strongly suggest that it wasn't just the heaviest, and therefore the biggest pterosaur ever to exist, but also the largest terrestrial predator to stalk the European landmasses 66 million years ago. Its very existence reshaped our understanding of maximum size for flying creatures, presenting a truly unique and formidable marvel of evolution. What truly set Hatzegopteryx apart, elevating it beyond a mere large pterosaur, was its profoundly unique and extraordinarily robust build. It was not simply a scaled-up version of its Azdarkaride relatives. It was an evolutionary outlier, a biological fortress. While most pterosaurs, even the massive Quetzalcoatlus, exhibited a graceful, almost fragile elegance in their skeletal structures, a necessity for achieving flight, Hatzegopteryx defied this norm. Its entire body was engineered for immense strength and power, making it a flying tank in every sense of the word. Now, let's focus on its head, a feature that immediately distinguishes it. Most pterosaur skulls were elongated, slender, and delicate,
often described as possessing a fragile, almost bird-like build. This was an adaptation to reduce head weight, crucial for flight. But Hatzegopteryx shattered this convention. Its skull was not only gigantic, measuring an astounding 2.5 meters or 8 feet and 2 inches in length, making it one of the largest skulls of any non-marine animal ever discovered. But it was also exceptionally robust and sturdy. Imagine a skull longer than a man is tall, not thin and hollow, but thick-boned and powerfully constructed. This monstrous cranium featured prominent ridges and powerful muscle attachment points, hinting at an enormous musculature that would have powered its jaws and provided incredible resistance to impact. It was a weapon of unparalleled destructive potential. Equally remarkable was its neck. In most azhdarchids, the neck was incredibly long and slender, a graceful, serpentine structure that could be half the length of the animal's entire body. But Hatzegopteryx broke this mold too. Its neck was surprisingly short and unusually broad, a powerful, muscular column designed for extreme durability. Studies have shown it was only about half the length one might expect for a pterosaur of its size, a deliberate adaptation that minimized leverage and maximized strength. This sturdy neck was further reinforced by intricate ridges, serving as even more robust points for muscle attachment. The result? A neck of truly Frankenstein-like proportions and strength, capable of withstanding immense forces. Some research suggests this incredible neck could endure stresses up to 10 times its total body weight, an astonishing feat of biological engineering. This unusual strength, coupled with the unique proportions of its skull and jaw, has led paleontologists to a chilling conclusion. Hatzegopteryx operated on a completely different level than other pterosaurs when it came to killing. Its head wasn't just for snatching fish or small prey. It was a bludgeon, a spear, a tool for dispatching animals too large to swallow whole. Its massive, powerful skull, driven by its robust neck, likely allowed it to deliver devastating blows, perhaps even impaling or crushing the life out of its prey with terrifying efficiency. This was a creature purpose-built for tackling formidable adversaries, a true apex predator capable of dominating its environment in a way few other flying animals could even conceive. The very structure of Hatzegopteryx screamed predator, not just a hunter of the small, but a formidable force capable of taking on the largest inhabitants of its isolated domain. To truly comprehend the unparalleled evolution of Hatzegopteryx, we must understand the unique geological stage upon which it emerged, Hateg Island. This was not a vast continent teeming with diverse megafauna and fierce competition. Instead, 66 million years ago, Europe was a sprawling archipelago, a scattering of islands of varying sizes, each a crucible of unique evolutionary pressures. Hateg Island in particular was an ecological anomaly, a realm unto itself.
Imagine an island, roughly comparable in size to modern-day Ireland, but utterly isolated. It was separated from any mainland by vast, treacherous stretches of deep ocean, extending for over 300 kilometers, or 190 miles in every direction. This profound isolation was the key. It created a miniature, self-contained ecosystem, a natural laboratory where evolution took a peculiar and fascinating turn. One of the most striking consequences of this isolation was a phenomenon known as insular dwarfism. On larger landmasses, resources are typically abundant, allowing animals to grow to impressive sizes. But on an isolated island, limited space and restricted resources create intense selective pressures. Over generations, species tend to shrink in size to adapt to these constraints, conserving energy and making the most of what little is available. Hateg Island became home to numerous dwarf dinosaurs, species that on the mainland would have been significantly larger. We find relatively tiny hadrosaurs and even scaled-down titanosaurs, some of the largest land animals in other parts of the world, reduced to more manageable, island-appropriate sizes here. Crucially, Hateg Island lacked the presence of giant theropod dinosaurs, the apex predators that would have dominated other continents. While smaller predators existed, there was no T-Rex or Giganotosaurus equivalent roaming this particular landmass.
This created a vacant ecological niche at the very top of the food chain. With virtually no competition or significant threat from other large carnivores, an extraordinary opportunity arose. Hatzegopteryx, already a large pterosaur, was perfectly positioned to fill this void. Without the pressure of larger terrestrial predators, it could grow to immense proportions, unchecked by the usual constraints. This island environment, therefore, wasn't just a home, it was the sculptor of Hatzegopteryx's unique destiny. The combination of insular dwarfism affecting its potential prey and the absence of terrestrial megapredators allowed this already formidable pterosaur to not only survive but to thrive and grow to an absolutely unprecedented scale. Its monstrous size was not merely an accident of nature, but a direct consequence of the unique environmental pressures and evolutionary opportunities presented by the isolated, resource-limited, yet predator-vacant world of Hateg Island. It was an island where a flying giant could become the ultimate, undisputed king. With its immense size and unique, robust anatomy, Hatzegopteryx wasn't just a large animal. It was the undisputed apex predator of Hateg Island, filling an ecological role typically reserved for giant terrestrial dinosaurs. Its physical adaptations screamed hunter, but its hunting strategy was likely far more versatile and terrifying than that of its flying kin. Paleontologists largely agree that Hatzegopteryx was a terrestrial generalist forager, meaning it spent a significant portion, if not most, of its time on the ground, actively hunting and scavenging. This wasn't a creature solely confined to the skies, swooping down for quick grabs. This was a formidable land-based hunter.
Its primary weapon was undoubtedly that colossal, robust skull. Imagine its sheer power. Unlike the delicate, spear-like beaks of many pterosaurs, Hatzegopteryx's head was a solid, powerful bludgeon. It's believed to have killed larger prey not by delicately snapping them up, but by delivering devastating, skull-crushing blows, or even by using its immense beak to stab and impale. Picture a creature with a head the size of a small car, driven by a neck capable of withstanding 10 times its body weight, ramming into its victim. The impact would have been catastrophic. And what did this monstrous predator feast upon? The very dwarf dinosaurs of Hateg Island, paradoxically shaped by the same isolated environment that allowed Hatzegopteryx to flourish. While these dinosaurs were smaller than their mainland relatives, they were still substantial prey. Juveniles and even fully grown adults of these dwarf species, like the relatively tiny hadrosaurs and titanosaurs, would have been vulnerable targets. Imagine a hapless Majorasaurus paludis, a dwarf titanosaur that on the mainland would have been enormous, but here was a mere fraction of that size, suddenly faced with the towering presence of Hatzegopteryx. Other island inhabitants, such as Telmatosaurus, Zalmoxis, and the armored Struthiosaurus, would have found little refuge from this airborne and ground-prowling terror. Of course, its diet wouldn't have been limited to just dinosaurs. As a generalist forager, anything that moved and wasn't too much of a challenge would have been fair game. This included various non-dinosaurian reptiles and amphibians inhabiting the island, small crocodile-like creatures, early mammals, and even other smaller pterosaurs would have found themselves within its formidable reach. Its long, powerful legs would have allowed it to stride across the varied terrain of Hateg Island with surprising speed, covering significant distances in pursuit of prey. Its keen eyesight, crucial for a flying animal, would have been equally effective in scanning the forest floor and open clearings for movement. The ground was its hunting domain, a landscape it dominated with an authority few other creatures could rival. This was not a passive scavenger. This was an active, aggressive predator, a terror both from above and from the ground, forever altering the balance of life on its unique, isolated island home. Its existence fundamentally redefined the capabilities of a flying animal, demonstrating that flight did not preclude terrestrial dominance. Given its extraordinary bulk and robust physique, one might question how Hatzegopteryx could possibly achieve sustained flight. After all, traditional wisdom suggests that flight demands lightness, a delicate balance of bone and muscle. Yet this behemoth was still very much capable of soaring through the skies.
Its wings, fully developed and structurally comparable to those of other known flying pterosaurs, were unequivocal proof that its immense size did not render it flightless. This wasn't some ground-bound giant with vestigial wings. It was a master of the air. However, its bulky, almost clunky appearance posed a significant aerodynamic challenge. How did a creature so heavily built manage to defy gravity? Paleontologists have uncovered ingenious adaptations. The secret lay within its very bones, specifically in the internal structure of its mammoth skull and its colossal wings. Unlike solid, heavy bones, the internal structure of Hatzegopteryx's skull was not dense. Instead, it was riddled with numerous pits and hollow points, creating a network of air sacs and lightweight bone struts. This ingenious design made the skull far less hefty than its external appearance suggested, while still retaining incredible strength and flexibility. Imagine a honeycomb structure, strong yet remarkably light. This unique weight-saving adaptation wasn't confined to its head. The wings, too, contained the same intricate pattern of pits and hollow points, a feature quite unique among pterosaurs. This internal architecture has been likened to expanded polystyrene or styrofoam, a material known for its excellent strength-to-weight ratio. This biological styrofoam undoubtedly played a crucial role in reducing the overall weight of its massive wings, making them more efficient for flight. Despite these remarkable physiological adaptations, getting airborne would have still been an extraordinary feat. Launching a creature of such magnitude into the sky was no simple matter of a casual leap. Scientists hypothesize that Hatzegopteryx likely employed a powerful quad launch technique. This involved simultaneously pushing off the ground with both its powerful hind limbs and its robust forelimbs, essentially launching itself with an explosive coordinated jump. This powerful propulsion would provide the initial momentum needed to gain altitude. Once in the air, the perception of Hatzegopteryx's flight capabilities has evolved over time. Initially, with its massive wingspan, it was believed to be an excellent long-distance glider, capable of traversing vast expanses without much effort, much like its presumed cousin Quetzalcoatlus. However, more recent studies, taking into account its sheer body mass and robust build, have challenged this notion. The current prevailing theory suggests that due to its substantial weight, Hatzegopteryx probably wasn't a long-distance migratory flyer. Instead, it was likely optimized for shorter, powerful bursts of flight, requiring breaks to conserve energy. Its flying capabilities, therefore, would have primarily served a tactical purpose, to efficiently locate hunting grounds and to traverse the sprawling, often difficult terrain of Hateg Island. Being able to effortlessly soar over thick woodland forests, wide rivers, and dense brush provided an unparalleled advantage. It could spot prey from above, rapidly move between different hunting territories, and quickly escape difficult situations. This aerial mobility was an overpowered tool for the already dominant predator, allowing it to exert its supremacy across the entirety of its isolated domain, making its monstrous presence felt in every corner of the island.
Hateg Island, the dominion of Hatzegopteryx, was a vibrant, if peculiar world. Far from being a barren rock, it was a subtropical paradise, bathed in a climate much warmer than modern-day Europe, fostering lush, tropical vegetation. This meant rich woodland forests dominated much of the landscape, interspersed with large rivers and winding streams. This diverse environment, though isolated, supported an array of life, unfortunately for them, all subjected to the terror of the Hateg Basin Wing Monster. The most famous inhabitants, aside from our giant plesiosaur, were the aforementioned dwarf dinosaurs. These included species like Meticulous paludis, a small titanosaur, and Telmatosaurus, a dwarf hadrosaur. There was also Zalmoxis, another ornithopod, and the armored nodosaur Struthiosaurus transylvanicus. Even the predatory niche below Hatzegopteryx had a dwarf resident, Elopteryx, a small theropod, and the fascinating Balor bondoc, a unique two-clawed raptor-like dinosaur, sometimes referred to as the Dragon of Hate.
These creatures, though scaled down, formed a complex food web that Hatzegopteryx sat atop. Unidentified dinosaurs, including other unnamed theropods, also roamed these forests. But the island's biodiversity extended beyond just dinosaurs. Non-dinosaurian life flourished as well, providing a varied menu for the terrestrial generalist predator. Crocodilomorphs, such as Allodapasuchus, and small mammals like Barbadodon and Cogaionon scurried through the undergrowth. Lizards, frogs, and even an unnamed ancient snake were part of this unique ecosystem. Ancient amphibians like Albernaeropeton and early birds such as Ichthyornis also found their place in this subtropical haven. Other pterosaurs, too, shared the skies with Hatzegopteryx, though none came close to its monumental size. So far, 3 distinct Ozdarchid species have been discovered, ranging from modest 3.5-meter to 5-meter wingspans. Pteronontids, another family of pterosaurs, were also present, though undescribed. These smaller flyers would have either been competitors for resources or, perhaps, even occasional prey for the reigning giant. This tapestry of life, from the smallest amphibian to the largest dwarf dinosaur, created a dynamic and fragile balance, all overshadowed by the imposing presence of Hatzegopteryx. The dense brush and numerous rivers that crisscross the island, while providing sustenance and habitat, also made terrestrial movement challenging for many of the larger ground-dwelling animals. This further amplified the advantage of Hatzegopteryx's ability to soar above it all, efficiently navigating its territory and spotting prey. It was a true tropical paradise, yet one where the shadow of the ultimate predator loomed large, a testament to the power of isolation to forge unique and terrifying evolutionary marvels. The reign of Hatzegopteryx, the magnificent Hateg Basin Wing Monster, was a testament to evolutionary adaptation, a saga of dominance forged in isolation. For millions of years, it stalked the land and soared the skies of its island domain, an undisputed monarch of its unique realm. Its robust build, its colossal skull, its powerful neck, and its ingenious flight adaptations all spoke of a creature perfectly engineered for its environment, a pinnacle of prehistoric predation. It was a living, breathing paradox, a flying tank, a graceful bludgeon, an ultimate hunter.
But even the most formidable reigns eventually come to an end. The subtropical paradise of Hateg Island, along with the rest of the planet, was hurtling towards an inevitable, cataclysmic conclusion. Sooner rather than later, the vibrant Cretaceous period, an era defined by its colossal inhabitants, would be violently extinguished. A massive asteroid hurtling through space was on a collision course with Earth. The impact, known as the KPG extinction event, unleashed an unimaginable fury upon the planet. It ushered in an age of darkness, a global winter that decimated ecosystems and irrevocably altered the course of life. The non-avian dinosaurs, the terrestrial giants who had ruled for an astonishing 165 million years, vanished. And alongside them, the magnificent pterosaurs, the winged wonders of the Mesozoic, also met their tragic end. Among the casualties was Hatzegopteryx thimai, the largest animal ever to have soared the ancient skies. Its unparalleled adaptations, its sheer strength, and its dominance on Hateg Island could not protect it from a catastrophe of such global magnitude. The skies, once commanded by its monumental shadow, fell silent. The dense forests and winding rivers of its home became its final resting place. Hatzegopteryx reminds us of the incredible diversity and adaptive power of life, and the brutal, indiscriminate force of mass extinction. It was a creature that defied expectations, pushed the boundaries of biological possibility, and stood as a true titan of the air, a forgotten giant now finally taking its rightful place in the pantheon of prehistoric legends. Its legacy, though brief, resonates with the power of nature's boundless creativity and its ultimate, unforgiving might.